All right, so it's winter time, and during the winter, people know one thing, that it can possibly get a little more depressing when it's cold, when you gotta bundle up, it's all gloomy and wet outside, snowy, wherever you're at. Some places are better than others. And so I'm just gonna give a few tips for anyone who seems to suffer something that they don't need to suffer so much on. It's still not going to be the happiest season, but there's still a lot of good that comes from it, whether it's the holidays or just even being able to cuddle up with your loved one. One of the first tips that is good, something that I do year round so that when the winter does come, I'm not personally so affected by it, but I do know it exists, so that's why I would even create the video. I can't really talk about anything that I myself haven't experienced. So by taking care of my health, the food that I eat, and making sure that I'm getting enough of what I need during the winter, especially with the cold and the more likely for people to get sick, I myself make sure I get a lot of vitamin C from the oranges that are around my city. I pick them from the tree and not from the grocery store over here in Central California. And for me, that helps a lot. There's a lot of places that are even cold that have their own source of vitamin C, or you could just take in more good foods in general, and your immune system's going to be feeling a lot better. So if you're not sick with stuffy noses and fevers and coughs and sore throats all winter, you're going to feel a lot less depression. I mean, that's depressing any time of the year. Also, you're going to want to be thinking about how much alcohol you might be consuming. It's a time of year with the holidays, New Year's, more likely chances of drinking. And if you're not feeling good, a lot of the time people revert to that. And that's just going to make you feel, maybe for a little bit it makes you feel better, but let's face it, you don't have to have depression to have a hangover that lasts a few days make you miserable. One of the other things I also like to do that kind of goes with that, if you are drinking, because drinking is going to happen during the holidays if you enjoy a drink, is making sure you're hydrated. Healthy foods help. The oranges help a lot too, but also getting a lot of water, making sure you stay hydrated. If you're going to be drinking, drink a lot of water and stuff before you go to bed so you can dilute the alcohol, and it'll help make your hangover and the days after be less sick-like feeling. It's going to make you feel less depressed. You're going to put a depressive thing upon a depressive thing upon a depressive thing, and of course you're not going to feel very good. You're also going to want to not partake in a whole bunch of candies and too much junk and overeating during the holidays in general. That's going to bog you down, make you feel bloated, putting on the weight, putting on the pounds. That's not going to make you feel good. You might want to question whether or not it's the season and the weather and all that that's making you feel bad, or some of the choices that we're making, because it doesn't have to be winter time to be depressed. People do things, I've done plenty of things myself that were stupid and make me feel really bad. I personally am getting over all of that, and you might want to ask yourself, what are you going to do? One of the things to do is that if you're going to be doing any of this stuff, the drinking, the bad eating, the candy eating, it's just limited a little bit. You don't have to gorge yourself to where you got to undo your belt buckle. You don't have to drink so much alcohol to where you make a fool out of yourself and become the holiday party jokester that falls flat on their face. Although sometimes that is pretty fun. Also mind what you're doing on your free time. If you got some time, don't just lay around in bed all day watching the same Netflix movie you saw before, or binge watching the same show you've seen 2 years ago. Get up, get out, do some stuff. Do something productive for your free time. Get some wins, do something, anything. Just by turning on this camera and recording a video, it feels like I got a win. It's something that if it was easy to do, everybody would be doing it. It seems easy, but to consistently be staring at a camera, talking, nobody's there, it's weird. Not everybody's used to it, but it's still going to be a win, especially consistently over time. And that goes with anything that we do. Get up, get out of the house, go to the gym, do something that's active, do something productive, even clean around your house. You're going to feel better than just laying around in any spare time that you have during any of your busy schedules. And if you're not busy, what's the excuse? And also make sure you're getting plenty of rest, sleep at night. If you are busy, make sure you're getting in the time you need to get the rest, because that's going to help you feel better throughout the day, make better decisions, and you're not going to be left so tired that you make a bunch of bad decisions with food eating and whatever else you might do, because your energy levels go low. You're more susceptible to making a bad decision. One minute you're motivated to do this, that, and the other thing, and the next thing you know, you're so exhausted you can hardly pick up the remote control or even scroll your phone for the next funny video. Tip number 2 is doing something that's active. A lot of the time, exercise, whether you go to the gym or you do it at your house, you're going to just feel a lot better, and that's going to be throughout the year. So if you did a lot of good healthy things throughout the year and you were active, when the season comes and it's cold and a little more depressing, you're not going to feel the bad end of that stick so much, because you're still going to have energy, you're still going to have drive, you're still going to have momentum, and you're not going to have time to just lay around with the sniffles all day. You can go for a walk, you can do anything, take the dog for a walk, clean up in the house. Anything that's active is going to make you feel better. When you're in motion and doing things, you don't have much time to feel sad. Sure, something might come up in your brain that doesn't make you happy. Maybe your dog just passed away, or maybe your wife just left you, and those things aren't going to feel good, but you'll at least be active. You won't be in a corner of your room somewhere, miserable, cold, and fearful. Even if it's just getting out of the house and running some errands, being active is going to help a lot. And there's so many other things you can do, any of your hobbies or anything like that. It's going to make you feel good. Things you haven't gotten done that you need to do, they're going to make you feel good. Getting wins feels good. And it takes action to get wins. It takes inaction to get losses. I know, because I've been there. Tip number 3, get around your friends, get around your family, go meet new people, do something where you get to be around people. When you're laughing with them and sharing ideas and spitting back and forth, whether it's some success that can rub off on you, or a story about maybe something that you're going through yourself, by talking to friends and family and getting hugs and sharing things together, you're not going to feel so bad, because you're not all alone. You won't even notice that it's winter outside when you're laughing with whoever family or friend you got over, or if you go over to their place, you're not even going to really notice, even if you got to drive through the fog or the snow, because you got somewhere to go, and it's going to be nice when you get there. And also, going places where you can meet new people is also great too, which ties into the 4th tip, to be going somewhere and doing some kind of charity or some kind of volunteer work during the holidays. There's really no excuse of why you can't volunteer during Thanksgiving, Christmas, those type of things, whether it's for your church, whatever it is. Anytime you volunteer, you're going to be around other people. You're going to be doing something in your community. You're going to be of use and with value. And when you're of use and value, you really don't have time to feel very bad. Even if you feel miserable, it's still going to cheer you up. Doing something for someone else, sharing that with someone else, being a team with someone else, leading with somebody else. These type of things don't leave room for misery, depression, anxiety. And tip number 5, do something for yourself. Finish a project, finish something that you've been wanting to do. You do those things for yourself, you take care of your health, you're exercising, you're doing things out in the community, you're out and about, you're not laying in bed all day, You're cleaning up those pile of clothes that have been laying there for weeks and months. You're getting rid of that weird smell that was in the other room. You're doing these things for yourself that are helping to make things better. You're going to overall feel better. And by the time you know it, winter's over, the season of depression's gone, a new season of life and rebirth and spring's here, and you're ready to get going and keep it going. And by next winter, any depression you might have had in the past, can I promise it's all going to go away? No. Those things are real. A little bit of them are always going to kind of be there, but use them for your advantage to push you to the next level, to not hinder you. And just know if you're feeling depressed or got anxiety, those are just like alarms going off trying to tell you something's wrong. You got to do something else. And just use it as a warning mechanism and not as a crutch that keeps you in bed, on the couch, under the blankets, crying with Kleenex next to you. Or sniffling your nose because you got a cold again. Because you haven't been very active. And unactive waters get a lot of poison and bacteria in them. Don't let that happen to your body. Get up, get out, do for you, do for others. It's going to be a great season.